rising of the sun.
Welcome back to the Rise and Shine Time. I'm Brother Dominic Urissi.
And this is Brother Dustin Dilworth.
With our special correspondent, Dr. Gary Biggs.
Special correspondent.
Commuter or something like that.
Sound like I rode the short bus to get here.
Thanks for coming.
The music in the background sounds really deep. I've got a book somebody gave me. It's called Lessons in Life from Mayberry.
Uh-huh.
That'd
be good.
Oh, yeah.
It actually is pretty neat, but
how about this?
Read that along with your Proverbs, your daily Proverbs every day.
Daily Proverbs. And then lessons from Mayberry. The Michigan House has passed a bill, Dr. Biggs, that would let motorcycle riders 21 years and older travel without helmets, despite the threat of a veto by Governor Jennifer Granholm.
I'd still look like I had on a chrome helmet anyway.
Well, Governor Granholm has vetoed similar legislation twice in the past few years.
Well, it's because it's freedom.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did I jump right out there and tell the truth?
Well, honestly,
I did, didn't I?
The Democratic governor has said that she has concerns about safety and what would happen to insurance costs if the mandatory helmet law were repealed.
That's a good point. I mean, what do you think about that, Brother Biggs? Do you think that we should have that ability, that right to go out on a motorcycle without a helmet?
Well, the longer I think now let me just put this in record. I have a motorcycle. Mm-hmm. I wear a helmet. I would probably continue to wear a helmet. I think it's a good thing to wear a helmet, but I like it because I can choose to wear the helmet. You know, now right now they're going to, what's the difference in that? Healthcare. You will have insurance. Or you will wear a helmet, or you will wear a seatbelt.
That's true.
And they're mandating. What they're doing is the law. Instead of persuading me to say, "Hey, you know, this would be smarter, safer to do," they're mandating. They're moving away from me having any intelligence at all.
Exactly.
They're manipulating a situation where, you know, if you don't do it the way they do it, you must be an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, here's a thought, and I brought this up a couple days ago, Dustin, is regarding a young man who was saying, "Well, I don't think the government should have any right to outlaw stuff like alcohol and drugs. That should be freedom." I said, no, because that endangers other people's lives. Mm-hmm. Driving without riding a motorcycle without a helmet endangers your life. Mm-hmm. And that's where you ought to have the right to decide whether you want to protect your head or not.
Right. I mean,
it
would
endangers
affect
the life of your family, too.
Right. It would affect the people you love, but
it would affect the people you love, but it wouldn't endanger them. Mm-hmm. It endangers you. And that's where, what's your freedom? Mm-hmm. If drinking only affected you, or if drugs only affected you and didn't affect anybody else, I said, well, okay, that would be your freedom. But the problem is it does affect other people. It ruins lives. It destroys your family. And also, talk about all the abuses that are involved in that. It's almost a poor analogy, but it's the principle. Mm-hmm. Seatbelts, for example. I know they're a law now.
When Michigan, that came in, by the way, it was okay. Those won't be a primary stop offense, but if we see one when we stop you, they can stop you now for the fact they didn't see a seatbelt on you.
Yeah. In some states, in Michigan, yes, they can. In other states, and some other states, no, they have to already have you pulled over. Then they'll decide to push that.
So they see no seatbelt, so they stop you. Hey, did you know you're going 2 miles over? By the way, your seatbelt's off.
You know, exactly. I'll let you go for that 2 miles over. I'll let you go for that, but here's your ticket for your seatbelt.
Yeah. But again, I think that's ridiculous. That should have been somebody's personal choice. Mm-hmm. Somebody's personal choice on whether they want to. Now, they could say, and I probably wouldn't have as much of an issue if they said, make sure your kids are strapped in, so you're not endangering their lives. Mm-hmm. But to say that you might have to strap in or otherwise we'll fine you, say, wait a minute, it doesn't affect your costs.
It's interesting. It's interesting how this happens, incrementally, generationally. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It took a generation ago for them to make auto insurance required in the state of Michigan. When I was 16 years old and I got my license, it was just a matter of it was a matter of life. It was a fact of life.
Right. It was just normal.
We just accept. So then when our children are older, they're going to just accept socialized national health care. In the process of time, in a couple generations from now, that kind of government control is just going to be commonplace.
Well, the seatbelt issue, Ken Davis does a little skit on it. I've seen it, but it's so funny because it's true. The precursor to the airbag was my mother's arm. You always like, and he did this one too. I think great. He liked it. He said, because when Grandma did it, it was like. Phew. Said, of course, she smelled like Noxzema for a few days, but he said they got that thing in there.
Yeah.
My wife still does that. If we go to stop, she put her hand out like this to stop me, and it's like, honey, I haven't hit the windshield in years. But it used to be the idea of child safety was sit down. Sit down in the back. So, and now it's mandated to the point where we are required to do these things. And part of it, and let me jump to the other side for just a second. Part of it too is because American people can, in fact, be some of the stupidest people on earth.
Oh, no doubt. I'm not saying that you shouldn't strap in. I'm saying you should strap in. I'm just saying the government shouldn't tell you that you have to.
But did you know that stupidity is also self-correcting? If I don't wear my helmet and smack a tree, I probably won't do that again. Yeah.
Well, okay, I was in a rollover accident, and if I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, I probably would have been seriously hurt. Both my sister and I. We were both hanging upside down in the Jeep that we were in, and we were okay. We suffered very minor bruises from that, and so I would say wear a seatbelt, but I don't like the government telling me that I need to.
My dad owned, when we grew up, my dad owned a service station. I mentioned that a while ago. And he had 3 wreckers. We had a wrecker big enough that one time he went and set a train car back up on its wheels. So we had some decent-sized wreckers that we used. And he had the smaller ones that picked up cars that were just stranded on the road. I've seen decapitations from seat belts. I've seen partial severances of
lacerations and stuff. Yeah,
and so, but I don't base my like or dislike on them because if there's other times too that I've seen people walk away from a wreck that if they hadn't had a seatbelt on, there'd have been a body bag instead of a stretcher or something. So, what I'm looking at is the comment I make about the helmet, about the seatbelt. It's not about the intelligence or the safety of it. I think they are safe. I think, and I would wear them anyway. The part I don't like is that they mandate, say, you have to.
Or else.
Yeah.
Or else.
Will or else. So
it's interesting. The helmet. Whenever I see somebody riding a motorcycle without a helmet, I kind of say, what an idiot. Okay, I mean, what an idiot.
Send up a little prayer for them.
That's just me. But I also say,
right.
Hey, at least he's exercising his freedom. But come on, man, don't be stupid.
I mean, I can't even go on, but I want to feel the breeze in my hair. I mean, it's.
I wouldn't worry about that, Brother Dave. So.
All you'd hear when we go by, there'd be no hair in it.
I wonder if your gas mileage is... forget it. I'm curious.
Not significant enough to make it worthwhile.
Yes. I'm going to move on.
Everybody's going to start shaving their head for better gas mileage.
That'll be the key. I wonder how long it'll be until our high school grade classes require for graduation a how to please your government class, where you have to figure out all the little legislations and little things you have to follow in order not to get arrested.
Wasn't there something already like that happen when they had to sing Obama loves the little children?
Oh, boy.
You remember that a while back?
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Mr. President. We come to you today to tell you how great you are. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, check this out. I got a picture right here real quick. If you can read the shirt on the back of the little kid. What does it say?
Obama for my...
future. A little kid wearing this with this written on his shirt.
And
oh, my
Obama
word.
holding him.